Greetings, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Dpend Explorations. For today's topic, I want to explore the idea that one is responsible not for the outcome of life, but for the effort one puts in. And in conjunction with that, the attitude that one employs during that effort. Now, it is a well-known idea that what we're responsible for is doing our best each time. However, that simple concept is actually quite profound if it's put into practice, because it allows us to acquire skills very rapidly, and it allows us to weather failure quite easily as well. If we go into any given endeavor knowing that to some degree, whether we fail or succeed is not up to us, but it's up to the universe as a whole, and there are many other variables that go into that, especially if it's something that's competitive, where someone may come out on top, and it may not be us. If we are okay with that, and we know that what we're here to do is every day to put our best effort forward, we also need to know that that best effort is specific to you at that moment. Because if you try to compare it to somebody else, my best effort to paint a waterfall is going to be quite a bit less skilled than a professional painter's best effort at doing that same task. And it's really futile to compare apples and oranges in this case. So getting into the habit to where you're not comparing yourself with others, but more so comparing yourself to who you were before, just to see that you're experiencing that dynamic personal growth that makes life feel meaningful. Going into that, noticing the small steps of improvement and celebrating those, not only being very critical. Many people are hypercritical of their abilities in things, and sometimes it's from a humorous point of view because it's just being self-deprecating. If it goes too far, then it can be difficult to have the motivation to continue on with any specific endeavor, or it's possible you might become very over-dependent on getting confirmation from other people that you're worthy. Now, let's talk about a few obstacles to putting one's best effort forth consistently. One of them is the fact that we have this feeling that no one will really know whether or not we're doing our best because it's a subjective measurement. But people can pick up on the fact that you're slacking or you're doing your best. And not only that, the universe itself knows. Another obstacle would be, paradoxically, a great aptitude in whatever it is you're doing. So say that you're a prodigy when it comes to music, and you've gotten to the point to where you just put in the bare minimum. For other people, it sounds like you're doing absolutely amazing. But since you're not putting your best effort forth, truly, the fulfillment, satisfaction, the personal growth that you experience will be somewhat diminished compared to if you were putting your best effort forth. So that's also related to the obstacle that you're really not competing with anyone but yourself. You're wanting to become the fullest, most essential representation of the entity called yourself that you can. And that can be a lonely experience, often heard in the expression that it's lonely at the top. So we can see that everyone really has their own peculiar pain when it comes to any given area of life. The beginner has their struggle, but they also have their unmitigated joy of just experiencing something without having too many expectations. And we see the one that is the best in the world has their own struggle of finding the meaning to why they still do what they do, although there may be no one near them in a certain frame of reference. Though we know at the highest level that life in itself is not a really competition, but it's a collaboration. You just have to look at nature to understand that all the mineral, plant, and animal entities are coordinating their efforts with each other, even when, from one point of view, it looks like it's just conflict. But that there's a higher level from which one animal eating another, for instance, is still a collaboration in the continuing creative evolution of nature itself. I really felt compelled to come on and do another addition to this show, even though it was so soon after the last. There was a lot of insight to be gleaned from the response that I got from the last show and my own response to looking at it. And in fact, it may sound selfish, but that's one of the reasons why I make videos or any art form, is that it gives me some sort of yardstick by which it's a mirror by which I can perceive myself and evaluate my current position and plan future trajectories and have that healthy competition with myself to be the best that I can be. So I hope that even though this was short, it was interesting to explore some of the aspects around the idea that the focus of life is putting in one's best effort consistently, not what the outcome is. If you did enjoy it, be sure to hit the like, hit subscribe, and the notification bell so you'll be aware whenever I post a new video. Also, you might consider checking out one of the other videos on this end screen, some of which are actually halfway decent. Until next time, I really appreciate you checking out the show and listening. Much love, and Dpend out.